Hey everyone, welcome to the inaugural episode of Will There Be Cake?
Woo!
That sound you're hearing is my co-host Amber Simpson.
Hey guys.
And I am Robert Lamb.
Oh wow.
That's my name.
Shh.
Yeah. And
What a
this is
name.
Will There Be Cake? And I know what you're wondering, what does that mean? What does that title mean? Like, why are you called that?
I mean,
Well,
there?
that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out, will there be cake? Because this podcast is going to be dedicated to all of those fun, well, we're hoping that they're fun, holidays that people celebrate every day. Or maybe they don't celebrate, and that's why we're here to basically explain what the days are. Because, like, everybody knows, like, especially with Facebook now, people, like, post, like, today's sibling day. I want to say hello to my sister. Or whatever it is. You know
Take
what I
your
mean?
daughter to work day.
Take your daughter to work day. There's so many days, but there's like a lot of days.
Like
we looked
every
it up.
day has multiple holidays.
Yeah.
Not just
Like,
one.
Like, and people now celebrate Star Wars Day on May the 4th. Like there's like actually like 3 or 4 holidays that you could celebrate on May the 4th.
Exactly.
So what we're going to do is we're going to release an episode every single day, and we're going to celebrate. Well, we'll pick one for that day, and we're going to celebrate that day, how we think it should be celebrated, and kind of talk about why that day is considered that certain holiday.
Right. We're going to pick our favorite holiday of
Yeah.
that day instead of going over every holiday. You shouldn't
And-
celebrate multiple holidays a day.
No, that's too much celebration.
That's too much.
One a day is good.
can't-
That's not too much.
You can only eat so much cake in one day.
Well, that's the thing is we want to figure out each one of these holidays, what they mean to us spiritually,
Maybe where they
emotionally,
came from.
where they came from, how they originated, basically, how we're going to celebrate that certain day, and then we're going to decide whether or not we should have a cake with that day too. Birthdays you celebrate with cake. So what about these other holidays?
Every holiday deserves a cake, in my opinion.
Although people don't really consider like Christmas. I don't know if you really.
Plus, there's
consider-
not always positive. Not every holiday is like a happy thing.
Well, no, I know. If we're like remembering D-Day, I don't know if we should bring a cake. To that.
Cake! D-Day cake. We go to Publix. I need this cake.
In the shape of a D, please. No, yeah, we'll decide on that given episode whether there should be a cake involved.
Yeah, and you can help us decide.
Yeah, and the reason I want to also say before we get into it, we're not starting at the beginning of the year, but that's because we just decided we're going to do this podcast now. Okay, so if we thought about it, I mean, we've always wanted to do this podcast. It's been a few years when we first came up with the idea, and now
At the
we're just ready
time,
to
we
go.
had too many other podcasts going on.
Yeah, we still kind of do, but we're going to still do it.
Yeah.
But we're ready now.
Screw it, we're ready.
Yeah. And
Kind
we're
of.
going to record each one of these podcasts on that specific day too.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
We're going back in time.
Yeah. But okay, so this is our first episode. What day are we celebrating, Amber Simpson?
We are celebrating February 24th.
No.
Guess what? April Fools.
Oh, she got me.
Because that's the holiday we're celebrating today. April 1st.
April Fool. We decided to go April Fool's Day. That's one that's pretty common. Most people know about it.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good way to ease people into this podcast.
And it's like kind of a real holiday opposed to some of these where it's like National Donut Day.
Right. This one's like one that's actually celebrated by many.
Right, exactly. It is not a public holiday, but
We should get the day off though.
I agree.
Just because.
What's that one movie where the holiday where they kill each other? It could be
Oh,
like that,
The
but
Purge.
everyone just pranking each other instead of murdering each other.
I remember a long time ago we said that what if the Purge Day, everybody celebrated their own Purge Day? So Purge Day is pretty much 365. It's just whoever wants to celebrate it what day.
Right, so you just kill people whenever you want.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
Well, I don't think the Purge is a good idea to begin with,
No.
But yeah, no, April Fool's Day is pretty common. Most people know about it, but that's the one we're going to start off with.
Yeah. So I kind of looked up, the history of April Fool's Day, and found out some facts about it. So sometimes it's called All Fool's Day. Why do you think it's called All?
Because everyone's a fool.
Yeah, that's true. We fool everybody. Everyone is fooled.
Yeah.
So it's a day, of course, if you know anything about April Fool's Day, consisting of practical jokes and hoaxes, just playing pranks on your friends. And the media has really gotten into it. There's the media.
Well, news
every
stations,
year.
Yeah, news stations.
News stations like Google does
certain
one
websites
every
too.
year. Yeah. I think news stations were like the first in the media to start doing it, like back in the day.
I just remember like IGN used to do it too. Like when I would go check like video game news, like April 1st, they would always do like random video game. I'm like, what? Like
some of them make me so mad. Some of them would be obvious, but some of them make me so mad.
Yeah, I think they would do like Half-Life 3 is coming out. It's like, no, it's not.
No. April Fools.
Got him.
So so the point is you pull the prank, and then at the end of the prank you say April Fools, in case they didn't know what day it was and what you were doing.
Yeah, and you spit in their face and kick them in the shin and run away laughing. I think that's part of it.
It's kind of a mean holiday, but
I think it also depends what kind of pranks you're pulling.
Yeah, but okay.
I mean, it's a mean-spirited.
Mean-spirited.
But in the sense of, it's just a joke.
It's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Right.
But people, I'm sure, get hurt. But it's fine. It's fun.
Yeah.
So it's been popular since the 19th century, but again, not a public holiday. The first reference that I found was in 1508, and a poet suggests that it came from the Middle Ages when New Year's Day was celebrated on March 25th in a lot of European towns, and it was like a party week, I guess, and it ended on April 1st. So when they finally started celebrating on January 1st, New Year's on January 1st, they made fun of everyone for celebrating it on April 1st.
So that's like, so they were all the fools.
So they were the fools because they were like, haha, it's not New Year's, you dummy.
Dumbass.
New Year's is January, not April.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what, Robert Lamb?
Yeah.
Have you ever been pranked on April Fool's Day?
Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to get into this now. There's another celebration.
No, there's not.
On April Fool's.
There could be nothing else on April Fool's Day.
There's one other thing, and I know we're not supposed to split these up. These are all supposed to be like just one holiday we're celebrating. But I can't help it. It's my birthday.
Wow. You can't help that you were born that day?
I can't help it.
That's a shame.
I can't help it. And in fact, this really is my birthday. April Fool's is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
And I want to say that when I was born, I remember my mom telling me that she had my dad call all the family members right when I was born and tell them, hey, she just had the baby, blah, blah, blah. And it went down like a long chain of calls. Like my aunt was calling my other aunt, my aunt was calling my cousins and all this kind of stuff. And finally somebody, I think it was my mom's sister, was just like, which was my aunt, but she was like, no, Jean's, she jokes around a lot. Like she's lying. She didn't have her son today.
Did she realize it was April Fool's Day when she
said that? Yeah. That's
okay.
why she knew, she thought it was a joke. So they called everyone back, and then finally, like my dad was like, "No, it's not a joke. Like Robert was born today." So yeah, and now because my birthday is on April Fool's Day, constantly, especially from like my parents' friends, they always do that thing where they're like, "I got you a really cool gift in the car,"
That's
and
gotta be
April
the worst.
Fools. I'm like, yeah, that was funny the first 2 times, but now it's like the 27th time, 28th time. Like I get it.
It's got to be, if there's a list of like the top worst birthdays, that's got to be on it. I mean, aside from like days that tragedies happened.
Or like, I think it'd be worse to have your birthday like around Christmas. You know what I mean? Like some people complain about that because they combine those two.
Right.
Whereas like mine's a little bit further away. So it's like I can celebrate. I guess
when you're
too.
Thinking of like the celebrating and the gifts, but I feel like April Fool's Day would be the most annoying day.
Well, I feel like the older people get, though, they don't
That's
do
true.
the April Fools too much. Like, I mean, I celebrate it for my birthday, but not for, like, I don't play practical.
Have you ever had an April Fool's themed birthday party?
No.
I don't know how you would theme.
like play a joke. I don't know. I
play a joke on all your friends.
Yeah.
At your
celebrate it
party.
on a different, like send them somewhere else, like give them a fake address, have them all show up to like a warehouse, and then that's it. But then they wouldn't come to my real party, so
that's
I don't
true.
want to do that. Nah, I've never done like a practical joke. I never was one for the practical jokes.
Me neither.
Anyways,
I'm not good at them. I'm just gonna go with that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I've ever.
And I was trying to think. I can't think of any like practical jokes that were played on me personally. Other than like I said, the media, I don't think like any one person has personally pulled a practical joke on me on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I don't think, besides like certain things that maybe somebody says, like they might just say
yeah.
something real quick
Right.
and be like, April Fool's,
Exactly.
gotcha, or
No,
something.
that
But
doesn't count. That's
yeah.
just a lie.
But not like actual tricks.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I see people posting about tricks, especially on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like, they always have those prank YouTube channels and stuff. And actually, I was showing you earlier, the Jimmy Kimmel has the one YouTuber, Mark Rober.
Mark Rober.
And Mark Rober does like a bunch of practical jokes. I think I'm pronouncing his name right.
Is
I don't
it
know
not
what his YouTube
Robert?
channel.
It looked like Robert.
No, I
Mark
think it's Rober.
Robert.
No, it's Rober.
Rober. There's no T.
So he does like he has a YouTube channel. I think he's the one who
He's a
does
professional prankster.
Yeah, but he worked for NASA, or maybe he still does.
What?
So he's a really smart guy. I think he's the one who was pranking. You ever see that video where he would put like iPhones and like glitter and fart spray like in a box in Amazon packages and leave them outside of people's doors. So when people like porch pirates came to steal them and they opened up the package, it would blow like the glitter everywhere,
Oh
and then
my gosh.
like turn on the fart spray, and then it would have like sometimes he would put like sound effects in there too that would set off like a radio, like a police radio.
Straight up
So they would
MacGyver
think-
over here.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So he's done a bunch of those, but he goes on Jimmy Kimmel every once in a while, and he'll show pranks, and especially on April Fools, he'll show his prank ideas, and he's had some pretty good ones.
Nice.
So, I mean, like, if I ever were to do a practical joke, maybe I would do the Mentos string
a smart
hanging
one.
from the bottle cap of a soda that when somebody opens it, it just drops the Mentos inside and sprays out. Like, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I wouldn't do that, though. Like,
Yeah,
I just-
exactly.
I just wouldn't want to do that.
I would
to
feel
anybody.
bad.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to clean up a mess.
Yeah, unless you do it in their house and then leave.
That's rude, though.
That is rude.
That's straight up rude.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm not one for practical jokes. But, you know, to each their own.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
So
What else about?
What? I mean, that's kind of all the facts I have on it. But I made a list of some of like my favorite media pranks. Do you have a favorite one that you can remember?
No, but I remember there was an article that showed a bunch, and I was when I was seeing them, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember when that happened. A lot of them were from like IGN or other websites I used to go to, just
Yeah.
like fake news stories.
So I looked up like a list of like the best ones, and in 1957, the BBC TV show did like a segment on that pasta grows on trees.
Oh my god!
And people actually like believed it. I think that was like number one of the best pranks. And then there was a Taco Liberty Bell where in 1996 Taco Bell released an ad saying that they bought the Liberty Bell in an effort to help national debt. And they didn't, obviously. But they did end up donating like $50,000 for the Landmark Bell's care after announcing the joke. But and then another top one was in 1962, a Swedish network told the public that they could watch the black and white broadcast by viewing them through nylon stockings, and it would make the broadcast color. So it was like
What the
color
heck?
TV. So before there was color TV, they were like, oh, it'll make this black and white color if you just look through nylon stockings. People totally believed that and tried it, of course.
I like how people just fall for these things.
Right. Well, because if it's on, it's just like now, if it's on the internet,
It's
people think it's real.
Yeah, but it's like the Orson Welles War of the Worlds thing, like back in the 40s or whatever. Like, people started thinking there's an alien invasion, and he was just reading
Yeah.
a book on the radio. That's the power of media.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But my personal favorites are like the Google ones, and they're not even like pranks pretty much, but Google Maps does something every year. They had like a treasure hunt one year on Google Maps where like you drive around and it's like an actual treasure hunt. And then they actually had Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go was a thing. In 2014, they had where like you drive around and you can catch Pokemon on the maps. Yeah.
Wow.
But then they've had Pac-Man, they've had Miss Pac-Man, they've had a Where's Waldo, they've had snakes on the Google Maps. It's pretty dope. I remember
cool.
playing the Pac-Man one. I forget what year that was, but
I kind of remember that one too. Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Those are like all in good fun. I'm looking at this. Like I just pulled up like a list and I see the McDonald's shake sauce.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Add sauce to your shake. A sweet new way to dip.
A
Shake
sweet
sauce.
New way.
Hashtag
That is kind of my
shake sauce.
favorite part of April Fool's Day, though, is seeing the stuff the media comes up with.
Hey, this one says Tom Brady retires. I'm retiring in my spare
God.
time. I'll be tweeting.
Isn't that a real thing now?
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. There's like a bunch of you can go online and just like search for April Fool's media pranks.
Mr. Avo Head, that should be a real thing.
Yeah, he's an
Mr.
avocado. He's like a potato head, but a avocado head. Holy guacamole,
Holy
says Hasbro.
It's just like that avocado Super Bowl commercial.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl was a long time ago, though. Amber Simpson.
Yeah, it was. Don't you remember it, though?
Yeah, I do.
It was a good Super Bowl.
It was a solid Super Bowl.
That's one to remember.
Oh, there's your Google snakes. Google Maps snake.
Yeah, see, I told you best
I didn't
one.
think you were lying.
Yeah, you did.
I believed everything you said.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. So there's definitely like a lot of things, especially in the media, that people have done, and I like those kind of jokes, like you said, rather than actual pranks. Although, like, I'll watch pranks on YouTube. That's fine. But I don't like pranks on me.
I forget. There was like there was a YouTube channel I watched for a little while. I don't remember the name of it, but it was just like this couple, and they would just go back and forth pranking each other, and it made me laugh hysterically. But they would like hurt each other. And stuff.
Yeah, I think I know you're talking. The one where like he put like a fake head like in her bed or something. Like that. She woke up to it. Yeah. No, that's kind of stuff's like it's funny as long as no one's getting like seriously hurt or like they're people you know or something like that.
And it's
like
not
that's not
you.
a big deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They married each other, so they knew what they were getting into.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So
Anything
that's April
else
Fool's
about
Day.
April Fool's? AKA my birthday?
No. Anything else about your birthday?
Well, I will say that because we're going to decide if April Fool's Day warrants a cake.
Yeah. Do you think April Fool's Day itself?
Well,
Not considering that it's your birthday. If your birthday was not April Fool's Day, would you have a cake on April Fool's Day?
It's really hard to differentiate them because they're
they're
one in my mind. But I will say that I think that it could be celebrated with a cake, but you'd want to be careful.
Right. You don't know
just
what's
in
inside
cake.
that
The
cake.
frosting's not really frosting and it's like toothpaste or something.
Or there's dog poop inside and not chocolate cake.
Like the help scenario.
Or if someone bursts out of the cake, that's like a good.
If that's a big cake.
Right, well, obviously. But that happens, right?
If somebody bursts out of my small cake, that would be even more surprising.
It's just like a tiny person.
Yeah, just
That'd be the best birthday ever.
Jiminy Cricket just pops out. Yeah. No, but I think you could celebrate with a cake, but you got to be careful with the cake. Now, because it's my birthday, I always would celebrate it
Right.
with a
Were
cake.
you ever scared of your cake?
Actually, no.
All right.
Now that I thought about it, like, no. I've never had like a... I think the worst that's ever happened is when I was young, I just had like fake candles that I couldn't blow out. But people get those on their normal birthday too.
What kind of parent would do that to their child?
I don't know, but by like the fourth
How are you
blow,
supposed to
I was-
make it?
I was like, this isn't working.
Oh, the ones that
When I
like
started
the
getting-
flame
yeah.
doesn't go out. I'm thinking it's just like a light up candle that you're trying to blow.
Oh, no. Like, I couldn't blow it out, and I was just like, all right, this isn't working. And they're like, ha, 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 ha.
That should be
you
every
can't.
year on your birthday.
Yeah, well, it's not.
That's not fun.
But yeah, I would celebrate it with a cake.
Okay.
I think it warrants a cake. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely your birthday warrants a cake.
Yeah,
But the April Fool's part, yeah, that also. But I don't think I would eat an April Fool's Day themed cake ever.
Yeah, no, if it says April Fool's on the cake, I'm probably not going to eat it. So maybe, maybe
or
it's
if
not
like
that
you're not around and someone bought a cake and they're like, "Let's have a cake," I'd be like,
All right, well then, you know what? Maybe it shouldn't be a cake day.
all right. So,
But you know, if you think so, go ahead, have a cake. Just make sure you buy it or you make it,
right.
and then celebrate with friends. And if not, just write April Fool's on it. If you're celebrating with friends,
Ooh, yeah.
and just see
You
if
can
they're
eat the
scared
whole-
to eat it.
And then you get to eat
Ooh.
the whole cake.
That's actually a Jimmy Kimmel joke, was where he told people to film their their friends or loved ones, and when they're about to drink their coffee, or when they drink their coffee, say, "I did nothing to the coffee." That's just what they say, and they literally did nothing to the coffee, but people panicked.
Of
They're like,
course.
"What'd you do to the coffee? What'd you do?"
Spit the coffee
yeah,
out.
spit it out, dumped it out, like washed their mouth out, even though they did nothing. So just do that with a cake.
Yeah.
I think
And then
it'd
you
be
get
fun.
to eat the whole cake by
Yeah.
yourself.
Watch your friend spit it out in panic.
Okay. Well,
All
Robert Lamb,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Let's eat a cake.
Yeah, we're gonna go get a cake right now. Not one that's pranked. And
I mean, maybe, you don't know.
Well, I'm gonna
I
make
bought
sure
the
cake. I'll test it first. I'm making you eat
It's-
it first.
Oh, okay.
Take a bite
All
first.
right, that's fair.
But okay, yeah, that does it for our first episode of
Yeah.
Will There Be Cake?
Thank you for joining us.
And we're gonna have a lot more episodes coming out every day.
Yeah, go eat a cake.
Yeah, enjoy, guys. See you next time. This has been a Seven Lamb production.